Hello everybody, it's Joshino here, the real McCoy, and thanks again, and literally you guys have been amazing. I honestly didn't think I'd get 1,000 subs by now. Anyway, I kind of got a few pieces of paper for the questions, but first of all, I'm going to say a massive thank you to firstly Mukas1, who I'll put something here somewhere, like a banner for him, who mentioned me in one of his videos, and also every time he'd like my videos it went up on his homepage, and literally there's spikes on my analytics where you can see where he's liked my video or he said something about me and it goes up by 50 people. So yeah, thanks massively, man. And also to Rel, who's just generally an amazing Planet Side 2 YouTuber. I don't think I need to say anything about him. But he also mentioned me, and yeah, another spike. So thanks a lot, mate. That was brilliant. Also, there was OrbitalStrikeGaming, who featured my Battle Rank 100 video, and literally that was another spike. A little spike, but you know, it was very appreciated. And he's also English. And I'd also like to thank Andi Dai, who has literally commented on every one of my videos, even before I actually started commentating, so thanks a lot, Andy. So anyway, diving in with the questions. Mukas1, who's the first one on the list by the way, I'm not picking here, asks, why PlanetSide 2? Well, firstly, the epic scale. I mean, you literally can't get that anywhere else for shooters. I literally love the huge battles, and as a kid I used to draw little A4 pieces of paper with massive Star Wars battles on them. Well, PlanetSide 2 comes very close to my imaginations on those massive battles I used to draw. Secondly, the community. I've been an MMO player for a long time, and playing a lot of MMO RPGs like Star Wars Galaxies, WoW, yeah, you name it. Obviously in a first-person shooter, that makes it into like this whole new interplay of outfits and leaders and big platoons. I just love the community, and I'm kind of upset that the warp gate's sort of been side pedalled, pushed to the side even, because I quite liked socialising there. It was quite fun. Okay, thirdly, yeah, I moved away from games like Battlefield 2142. I never really got into Battlefield Bad Company. I quite liked it, and then when Battlefield 3 came out, it really wasn't my thing. So PlanetSide 2, for me, comes closest to Battlefield 2142 and Battlefield 1942 and those lot. And then Lucas also asks, what is cool about your country? Well, I'm going to do a three thing again. So the first one's acceptance. Everyone's pretty liberal here. I mean, there are racists, but at the end of the day, compared to a lot of countries, everyone's pretty chill here. And there's like the whole, yeah, everyone's just pretty chill. And also the history, literally you can go everywhere and there's like ruins, castles, loads of absolute, littered everywhere in England. And thirdly, I have to say the NHS, like on the Olympics, we even had this whole big, like whole pantomime for them. Anyway, what did you study was the third question from Mukas. So I studied social science and writing, but ended up majoring in cyberculture and global communications, which, yeah, hasn't taken me too far, but I was good at it, and I enjoyed it, so, you know. Anyway, on to the second question from Lpiiska. Lpiiska! Okay, I think I've got it. Where is the team kill montage? Field Bishop disappoint. Well, Field Bishop, your team kill is definitely going to be on the ACX11 video, but I haven't made it yet, so it might be a little while. Okay, the next one is from the Kiwi Gaming Channel, who I thought would be from New Zealand, from the, you know, Kiwi part, but apparently not, because he says, why does the weather change so goddamn much here in England? It was sunny when I woke up, now it is raining. Well, yeah, I was starting off this recording, and it was really nice and sunny, and now it's got kind of, you know, rainy, and that's why the lighting's a bit, yeah, bad. Second question is, can you do some more T7 mini chain gun content? Well, yeah, I've been filming for like the review because I've almost Araxiumed it, but now S3 have said they're going to change it, or Higbee said he's going to change it, so yeah, I think they'll be on the back burner, or I'll make a review now with all the little, you know, little tips for it, but it's going to be changed, so I'll definitely check out the change, and that'll be something I'll do an overview of the change. The third question is, what software do you use for recording? And I'm going to take a lot of time for this one because shadow play is literally amazing. Like, I'll be playing a game normally, I've got no pressure, no nothing, and then I can just play my game normally and then hit, save that, and I've got the recording. That's why I use shadow play with NVIDIA. You have to have a GTX 670 or above. But you know, if you do have one of those, I'd suggest using Shadowplay. It does have some hiccups though, because like there's little black blotches that sometimes come up on Shadowplay, and sometimes your recording like has an audio stutter twice, and small little things, but it's worth it in my opinion. And what do I use for editing? Well, I use mostly Sony Vegas, but sometimes Windows Movie Maker if it's not really anything, like it's on my screen or something. It's not something like a big video. Okay, the next one is Nick Pereira. Is there a Miss Joshino in real life? Unfortunately not at the moment, because yeah, I've been out of uni for a bit, haven't really settled down yet, but you know, I'm looking. Okay, number 2, do you work? And what do you do? Well, I've got a part-time job in a bakery at the moment, and basically it's customer service. I work on the tills and stuff like that. And then actually I've just got an email this morning saying I've got another, it's a charity job, but it's really interesting to me because I like social science, and I'm working at the Citizens Advice Bureau, so yay! Also, he asks, are you going to keep playing PlanetSide 2 or move on to another game? Well, I'm going to carry on playing PlanetSide 2 probably whatever, because it's just the type of game I like to play. It's like, there's nothing else to really fill the void for massive, epic, battle, FPS, you know. But I do play like little tactical games like CSGO, and I've been playing a lot of Starbound, but I haven't really videoed it yet. I do have a machinima for Starbound that I've recorded the voices for, but I haven't actually got round to doing the gameplay yet. So that's something to bear in mind. Okay, on to the next one. David Barr asks, as a big fan of tanks, I would like to know your thoughts on your favourite, not the most powerful, main battle tank, and why. And he's Impala from NC Woodman apparently. He's a good player. Anyway, my favourite tank would have to be the Mag Rider, just because it can climb hills. It can climb hills, guys. It can climb hills. But I used to think it was boring until I tried the other tanks. I'm really not a fan of the lockdown ability. I mean, it's good. You can farm with it. That's good. That's fine. But at the same time, it's very boring. And the NC tank's always been a bit meh for me. And the Mag Rider's just the one that's different. I really like the default gun. I can't remember what it's called. But the I don't know, but the projectiles are massive, so it's really easy to one-hit infantry. Okay, next. Rahul Tilva asks, question, what are your favourite camo, helmet and armour combos for each faction? Well, to be honest, I've only really unlocked stuff for my VS, and I've got to say I love the Urban Forest camo. No, I'm joking. I don't know what it's called, I like the Aqua, the really green one, and I'd use it myself if I could afford it, but I really like that camo, and I like for the humour of it wearing the Teletubby helmet. I'll try and find what it's exactly called and put it in the video, because yeah, I'm not too sure what it's called apart from the Teletubby helmet. Also, I'll say something about armour. On medics, I think it's really useful to use the big padded composite armour, because you look like a heavy, which will really trick your enemies into thinking that they're going against something they're not. Because I always sort of jump out the way if I see a big chunky medic, and then I see the kill, I'm like, damn it, that was a medic! And it's actually a really good trick. This one's from ilvll, I think it's meant to sound like evil games. What is your favourite part of PlanetSide 2? Well, it's hard to say really. I like the fact that it's got lots of parts to it rather than just one, like the infantry solid, it's got an air game, it's got tanks. But you know, obviously the favourite part, even though as somebody who considers I'm a bit of a better player now, I still like getting into massive rushes across like Quartz Ridge to indirect excavation site and being in a massive group of people just swarming across in a foot zerg and just seeing like explosions on your side and loads of guys pouring through. Yeah, those massive like open field fights then are my favourite. Okay, Ghostface, can you make a funny montage once? I think I'm going to do a funny montage for the Lasher, but I haven't quite got the footage yet. Daniel Williams asks, tell us about your PC and show us your gaming setup please. Okay, well I'm going to have to go off camera for this one, but I've got some props ready over here. Actually I can maybe just swivel it round. So this is practically my setup. I've got a Corsair HT cooler, I've got Intel i5 3570K CPU, I've got some sort of 750 watt bronze PSU, I've got a GTX 670 Power Edition MSI graphics card, and I've got some HyperX memory. There's 16 gigabytes of that, of some kinks in the memory. And then I've got this Z77A G43 motherboard, which I advise nobody to get because the overclocking is really rubbish. So yeah, if you want to overclock and you're looking at sort of a similar setup, don't get the Z77A G43 because the overclocking sucks. So this is my monitor. It's just some BenQ one. It's quite nice, but I think it probably do better. There's lots of fingerprints, so don't look at it anymore. I just got a really crappy keyboard. And then I've got a Gigabyte mouse. It's got 3 different PSI settings. And it's got about 7 buttons, I think. And this SteelSeries mouse mat is actually surprisingly good. Like I've been using my mouse on the normal surface, and it just doesn't really compare. I never thought that a mouse mat would do this. And I've tried other mouse mats and just not really had any success, but this one seems to have done it for me. Okay, onto my my headphones. These are a Sony MDR MA900s. They were on Madlust Envy's hi-fi forums headphone reviews for gaming, for surround sound. So, and these were actually rated really highly for their, because they're open-eared ones, they're really good for surround sound. For games anyway. And I bought the Zolman Z1 microphone. It's a bit rubbish really. I wouldn't say to get this, but it's not connected to my headphones. These MDMA headphones, which are really comfy by the way, guys, and the sound's pretty much amazing, and the surround's great. But if you live in America, there's something called a mod mic, an online mod mic, and if you can get your hands on it, I'd try and get that. But in England, I think there's like a £30 charge to get it shipped over here, and I think they're even sold out. So yeah, maybe you should go with the Zolman for now, but it's not very nice. Okay, then going underneath. I don't know how dark this will be. Maybe you can't see it. But this is my computer down here. There's a controller with it. We've got a Zolman case. Zolman Z9 Plus or something? Yeah, I can't see it. I don't know how to turn the light on. Is there a light? I don't know. Oh God, I can't find it. You'll just have to live without knowing. You've seen the makeup of it, and you've seen the general outline. Yeah, and I've won. You can kind of see I won some stickers that say "Built Not Bought," and I won that in a Reddit competition, which is pretty cool, from PC Part Picker, which is a very good site, by the way. And then I may as well just show you my recording software now. This is like my pop shield. I was looking for the snowball, which is better, but I ended up. I was like, oh yeah, this blue snowball ice. It must just be the color change. It must be the whiteness of it. But apparently, yeah, they're 2 different microphones, and I bought a new one of these because it was on offer. And I thought, oh, that's just as expensive as a used one is on eBay. But no, I was wrong. This pop filter's pretty just standard, but it's really nice. And also, why I've not got my computer on right now is because it makes so much noise with the fan from the cooler, which is good for the overclocking that I've done. I've actually overclocked it to 4.5 gigahertz, I think. And yeah, it makes a lot of noise, so I use my laptop to record with, and I upload the sound to Dropbox, and then onto this computer, which is actually faster than using a flash drive. But yeah, that's my setup pretty much, and the recording setup. So back to the questions, everyone. Yeah, I've kind of lost the sheet now. What's your gaming setup? Where is that? Where is that? Oh, I've lost it. Bugger. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we've done Daniel Williams. Okay, we're on to Slywolfz now. And Slywolfz asks, what is your favourite faction and why? Well, I have to go with the Vanu, just because lasers and technology, you know, they're sort of a thing for me. I love the idea of this futuristic faction. I'm quite a sci-fi guy. I've got a load of Ian M. Banks, Philip K. Dick, Isaac Asimov. I just love the further sci-fi of them. I mean, I don't like the religious fanaticism that they have, and you know, yeah, the Vanu part, but the lasers are cool. So okay, so what's the best anime you've ever watched? Well, ironically, he's got a picture of Code Geass, and that was the first proper, like, mature anime I ever watched, and like, I was pretty bowled over by it, and it's probably my favourite, and it sat with my favourite because, maybe just because it was the first one I watched, but you know, all the twists and all the turns in the tale was really wow to me, and how dark it was. Like, there was not I'd say it's a good thing, but they were like different, there was like genocide and things all addressed, and it was quite interesting to see this persecution where other programs might dance around it and be quite, like Western shows might be a bit more like cautious with that, but it was like presented quite bluntly in Code Geass, and even though it was a sci-fi setting, it was really interesting. And obviously Lelouch is a very interesting mastermind, and his fight with Suzaku Kugurugi was always interesting because they were like opposites. But I do feel compelled to say One Piece because I love One Piece. It makes me so happy. And then the third one is, what is your all-time favourite weapon in PlanetSide 2? I don't really know. I play the game, going from weapon to weapon, Araxiing them, like having a bit of fun with every weapon, and I don't really have like a favourite weapon. Like probably like the I did really enjoy using the chain gun. I know people really hate on that, and I was like, oh no, the chain gun sucks, but I actually really liked it. And maybe it isn't the best weapon, and maybe it's not as good as the carve at killing those people, but damn is it fun. It's really fun, and I really hope that the change makes it even more fun, because you know, firing faster could make it even more interesting, like the heavy minigun off Team Fortress 2 for example. Okay, here's a long-winded one. Zer0 M0nster with a 0 instead of an O says, what is your favourite first and second gen SMG? Well again, I only really use the Sirius, which I think is second gen, and the Blitz, which is first gen, so I just have to default say those two. But I really want to try out the Cyclone, because I've heard that's pretty epic, but I've sort of stopped playing the NC whilst I've been massively overpopped. And yeah, I've sort of gone back to the VS now for the moment, because they're, for some reason, really underpopped. So maybe I'll try the Erdani, that's the one. Also, what's the worst gun in the game? I'm compelled to say the Solstice Burst, but I haven't tried it since it's been changed. I just don't see the point. Like, you fire 3 bullets off and then 2 miss, and then, so if you ever go for headshots, you're like, duh, well 2 of my bullets missed. Why don't I just shoot all my bullets at somebody's head? It just, it infuriates me. The other burst weapons are meant to be quite good though, but I haven't tried them out. Like the Equinox Burst is meant to be quite good, and I guess the other factions burst weapons, but I haven't really tried them out. Which max is the best, and which weapons for that max? Well, I'd say that because most engagements that are for the max are really close quarters and small tight rooms where you're defending, I'd say the NC max. I think, I haven't really got to it yet, but the Matox are meant to be quite good. But I use a grinder and a scat cannon, so it's all I can say. And it is really effective. What is the best LMG in the game? Again, the best LMG? Well actually, I've been using the Carve, and I think it's probably the most sensible. It goes where you're firing it, it's got a good punch. I'd say that the Carve is probably the best LMG in the game, for that reason. Medkits or mines for the Infiltrator? Well, I take medkits because I feel that mines are a bit cheesy, and I like being able to just carry on going in one massive fight, and just be able to keep going, getting the kills, jab yourself with a kit, and then just carry on going. But obviously you've got to bear in mind that when you cloak, you stop healing, so you've got to pop it at the right moment. Okay. Coolest Vanu, NC and TR armor helmet decal setups. I've already said. What do you feel is OP right now? Well, the Vanguard shield. Sorry, but it kind of is. What do you feel is underpowered right now? I don't really know. Some of the carbines for TR aren't amazing. Like the Track 5 is just not too fun to fire at medium ranges. Like, even other weapons in other factions that aren't meant to be medium range weapons can sort of have a go, but with the Track 5 you feel like you're just spraying. You can't really control it because of the horizontal recoil, I think. Who got the best Empire specific sniper rifle? Well, I haven't really tried these out, but I know that the TR got the worst because it's not really a sniper rifle. It's sort of like a World War II burst rifle. It looks like one anyway. I've tried it out and, you know, it's alright, but yeah, it's not a sniper rifle. And I think from my experience the Railjack is the best. Well, I've died to most. I haven't really died to the VS one. I can't remember it off the top of my head because I haven't written any like script or anything. I've just sort of gone for it and my computers are all off. What's the overall best Sundra loadout? I don't know. Well, probably composite armour and I'd like to say the shield gate diffuser, but yeah, it's not. It doesn't work most of the time. So I'd go for fire suppression so that you can just last longer. And instead of using, you know, nano auto repair heals you, you can use fire suppression to heal yourself as well. I mean, it takes longer, but it's always an option. And I do that in my aircraft as well. I fire suppress even though I'm not being attacked. Like I'll just go off for a bit, like, oh, fire suppression. I've got time between my fights. Just fire suppress. And he says sorry, but you did say fire them out. Yeah, that's my fault there. Okay, the next one says, from DryCrystal, who's got an Adventure Time picture with Jake as My Neighbor Totoro, asks, should I watch One Piece? I say yes, if you're into anime and you've got some time to spare, because there are like 650 odd episodes and you probably want to carry on reading after you've watched all of those. But yes, it's a massive adventure and like you feel like you're going on an adventure. The first few episodes are a bit slow, but it gets in there. And like the story is really interwoven. There's all these different characters and different factions all coming in. It's just like, oh, you feel so in the world, in the universe. I love it. Okay, Logan Levo asks, congrats, but I have a question. Why did you create your TR and NC female characters and your VS1 male? Well, actually, this isn't anything for like a personal preference or trying to be equal for sexes. Which I'd like to be able to say, I'm like, yes, it's because I want to be very equal, I want to give the same opportunity, but no, it's pragmatic, in that in a lot of MMOs I've always played games as smaller characters because you get targeted less, and for these two characters I thought, well, when you're smaller, and the female form is slightly inward, I think, anyway, this might be wrong, but I think it's slightly inward, so when your enemies are looking at you, it's harder to notice a female over a male in the game. And yeah, Martin 5, he isn't sure what he wants to be when he grows up, but it's not quite that, it's more pragmatic actually. Then this other Xfirestorm 43 says, I would like to know what your system specs are, because I'm jealous of your frames. Keep up the good work. Well, I'll just say again that my Core i5 3570K is overclocked to 4.5 gigahertz, and that really helps. And my MSI graphics card is default at the moment, but I might try and overclock that when I've sort of got around to working out how to do it exactly. And yeah. And obviously 16 gigabytes of memory. I don't think it actually matters what the speed is, but they are like 1860. Next one from Veikka Vainikka. Veikka Vainikka. It's probably not German at all. Says, I started following pretty early, but the channels kept getting better. I stopped playing PlanetSide, but I couldn't stop watching your videos. Black Brother, NC. Okay, that's not a question, but that was really nice. I'm not sure if you're German or not. Sorry about that. Thomas Whalen says, would you marry me? No. And it's because it's my friend, it's RG Scully. What a silly lad. He's a bit simple. Unfortunately. Okay. Oh god, I think this is either Norwegian, Swedish, or I don't know, Denmark? Danish? Vebjorn Soma. Vebjorn. I'm guessing not Vebjorn, it's Vebjorn Soma. Vebjorn Soma asks, are you a human? Exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark. Error, function denied. No, yes, I am hopefully human. I mean, yeah, maybe in the future, maybe I'd have some robotic parts. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe like, you know, a new powerful arm, some hands, like, you know, big laser beam on my arm, you know, whew, all those things. Okay, Carl McCrae says, love your content, man, and ask you a question. Why the Woodman server? Why not Connery? You and Mukas are so amazing, and I'm confused why not play on more, I think, populated server. Just to really show, he put shoe, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, the world how good you are. Well, the problem with Connery is, I think it is statistically the most populated server, but my ping on Connery living, I think I've showed you a little bit of the village here. I live in a very remote countryside village in England, and yeah, the internet's not great, and connecting to American servers gives me a massive ping. It's a massive disadvantage for me at playing games really on American servers. But I have played a bit on Matheson, and you know, it's been okay, but not great. But I will say that on the European servers, well, there's 4 servers I think. There's Ceres, Cobalt, Woodman, and Miller. I think there's 4. Anyway, Woodman, Cobalt, and Miller are all very similarly populated. Well, they were the last time I checked the charts, with occasionally Miller being slightly higher. I think that on Woodman at least, there's definitely enough engagements everywhere. There's big fights, and you know, I don't think that a lot of the time in our games has never really showed that there's too few people. It's probably just more us playing at a different time. Like maybe I'll be playing at like 2 in the morning for a stupid reason. I don't know why. Because PlanetSide, it takes your life, it sucks your soul out of your body and forces you to play a game for hours on end. So yeah. So I don't think that Woodman is particularly underpopulated, just like the other European servers. They've all got a lot of activity, really. I played on Cobalt and Miller, but I can't say I played on Ceres. Sorry, I'm not sure on that one. Okay, Nicholas Mayfield says, "What's your favourite gun in PlanetSide 2 and vehicle?" Well, I've already answered the gun one, which was a very confused answer, and then the vehicle, I'd have to say, the scythe. And road killing with the scythe, because it's got such big arms, and then going across the landing pad with your scythe is just so rewarding. It is beautiful. And also you can put the PPA on the front of it, and just, the PPA is ridiculous. It is just ridiculously good. It is, it just kills swathes of infantry. Swathes. They did nerf it so it doesn't do damage to vehicles, I don't think. I think it still does damage to air, but I haven't really tried that out. I don't really engage in dogfighting like maybe on our server. Lilian Madure, our Frenchman in the air, used the PPA against other air. That was pretty interesting. Okay, the next one is RepublicMDTV. Question, what is your go-to class, and what weapons do you use for that class? My go-to class is a light assault, because I always like to scout out the area and see where the best places to go in are. And always when you come as a heavy assault or engineer or medic, you'll know which way to go once you've gone as a light assault, to see where people are held back, where the fights are. I just like, I mean generally I love the movement of the light assault. I like being able to fly, get behind people. It's just really fun. And the weapons, I can't really say on the weapons. I mean, I like the default carbines. I'm not a massive fan of SMGs or shotguns, to be honest. I feel that the carbines give best all-round experience. Like you can do medium range, close range. And I'd say, you know, the default carbines for each faction, as a light assault, to get up close and personal, are all quite good. But the Mercenary and Solstice are the best, better, not the best, but better at medium ranges. I really like the ACX11 on the NC. That's a really powerful gun. It's good at medium ranges if you can control it, because it's a hard-hitting weapon. And also close ranges if you take people by surprise. That's why I use a suppressor with it, because it's like, it can wreck big groups of enemies. Anyway, WarriorManWM asks, how do you record? Okay, I've already gone off on this about Shadowplay, and I don't use any like boosters or programs to aid it apart from Shadowplay. It's just, it doesn't really hit my FPS all that much. Whereas Fraps probably takes away 20 FPS from my maybe 50, 60, but then I'd usually go 30 FPS on the recordings for Fraps just so that it's not too stuttery. What graphical settings do I have? Well, I always play Ultra. I'm a bit of a graphics whore. That's why I spent quite a bit of money on my PC. And yeah. So yeah, there's not really anything special about that, apart from Shadowplay. And then BlueSheepMinecraft doesn't have a question, but he was my 500th subscriber that asked the question. He said, do your favourite weapon for each class. And I was like, thank you for this massive task. I was asking for a simple video and you gave me a massive task. Thank you, BlueSheepMinecraft. But no, thank you again for saying thank you. Okay, last one. I don't know why this one's been buried. He got 2 likes. Is that awesome dude? Keep being awesome, that awesome dude. It's also firing off a lot of questions. Are you going to be playing any other games? Well, I think I've said this one already. I play Starbound. Any other free-to-play that come out, I might just give it a go. Or give it a review. I was doing a loadout review and then I did the recording, but then just sort of never put it all together. But it's a bit unfortunate because it's outdated now and it sort of got to be more mainstream, so I've just not bothered with it. The next one says hobbies. Well, this video recording's my hobby. Doing all this, all the game recording, playing video games, kind of my hobby. But I will show you some of my art as well because my mum's an artist and I've always sort of doodled, and I still doodle now, but I'm sort of kind of proud of all these. They're other artist stuff. So I don't take all of the credit or anything because yeah, that's just not right. I really enjoyed this sort of fine ink work. I did a Star Wars Boba Fett over here, and then some weird like steampunk guys, and then these like naturist like leafy women, like their faces are made out of leaves. You can see that the marks, and I always think this about art, like when you look further away they always look like way better. Anyway, I have a nudie life drawing up there that I'll have to censor, I think, so I don't get flagged on YouTube. And then some other weird ink work, and then some like, this was my original piece where it's about people being trash. Like, instead of guts, he's got like baked beans and bits of ripped up paper spilling out of his body. And that one there's my mum's art. She's an artist. She does a lot of abstract stuff with stones and swirls and gold leaf. It's quite interesting. And she's actually quite famous. She's been put in magazines and things. So I always cherish this one. Oh, there's an Adventure Time poster. Adventure Time! Anyway, enough of the art. Where do I live? Okay, I'll come back to this one because I'll have to take the camera off again. Favourite server / clan? Well, I don't have a favourite server because I've only really played mostly on Woodman. I've played little bits of Miller and Cobalt and a bit of Matheson. But, you know, I like the Woodman server. I've become accustomed to the Woodman server and I'm very integrated with the community there. And obviously I'm very friendly with all the outfits on each faction, so that makes it very easy for me to go to different factions and just play with people and everybody will be really friendly. It's really nice over there. I mean, I enjoy the Woodman community, and you know, if anyone's interested, they are very friendly, and they've got a subreddit that's quite popular and there's a lot of posts on there. And some other good videos out there as well. But the favourite base in PlanetSide 2, I'd have to say Moss Ravine. I think it's called Moss Ravine. The new one in Amarish has these massive monolithic rocks with all moss hanging off them, and down on the bottom it looks like some big veiny mossy, like completely like jungle-like almost, and then on the top when you see over it there's like this epic view, and then you can jump as a lighter walk across the top of the stones. I really love that base. When I saw it first I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, and it reminds me a lot of Overgrowth. I don't know if you've ever heard of that game. It's a rabbit fighting simulator, but like it has the same sort of monolithic architecture of stones like very natural architecture, and I thought it was really interesting base actually. Commissioner versus Underboss. Well, I like the Commissioner just because it's like the Deagle on Counter-Strike. It's basically the hardest hitting weapon, and if you can get those shots in there, which I'm alright at, I think it's probably the best pistol really, just because bang, bang, dead. Or even if you get one bang to the head, it's bang, headshot. Yeah, I really like the Commissioner. It's such a badass weapon. Am I going to get the Oculus? Well, this has actually become another thing that's sort of in there. Yeah, you know, it's been acquired by Facebook. I don't know enough about it, so I'm not going to say anything. I like the look of the Oculus, and I've actually used it in an art fair of all places. It was an art exhibition where the 3D things, it's actually really, really wacky. Like things exploding and chickens coming out of them in 3D whilst you had the Oculus on. It's kind of made you feel a bit sick really, but I still think it's pretty awesome. Although it wasn't in HD, which was kind of upsetting, but I really like the idea of the Oculus. And yeah. Maybe I'll just have to see how the Facebook thing integrates with it. What's your dream job? Overlord of the universe! Okay, well I'm going to come back to where do you live because I might just give a better overview. It's still a bit rainy, but I'll give it a go. So guys, this is the where do you live question. So this is England's countryside. I live in the centre, which in ancient times was part of the land of Mercia, where I think King Ulf something King something ruled. And yeah, I thought it was pretty cool that I came from Mercia, not from plain old Derbyshire, which doesn't really have anything there. But I found out recently that there's a weird fanatical group that are out there for pure Mercian blood, and they say only Mercians are the real humans. And I thought, well, maybe I'll take away the Mercian tag that I've been using in Facebook and things. There's different connotations to the Mercian tag, but I still think the history is cool. But yeah, this is the countryside of England. I live just by a lake, so that's why I thought I'd show you. But there's my Japanese peace lily, and a very depressed gnome, and a happy Buddha. But yeah, it's actually yeah, it's a nice sight. So I'm sorry if I missed any of you out. I didn't mean to. I think I've got everybody, but they're all sort of jumbled on a piece of paper. So I might have missed somebody. I'm really sorry if I did. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And thank you again for subscribing. That's pretty awesome. I hope that I've been alright on this recording, because it's the first thing for me, and I don't really do all this, and this is all sort of off the top of my head. It's not scripted. Like normally I write scripts of things. I have little bits of paper where I write. Oh, this is actually a starbound one. I thought I was going to show you the shotgun one. I don't know whether this, but this is one for the Liberator update. These are all my little notes. But this one's just gone completely off. I just got these questions and then just go for it. So I hope it's been interesting. And also, what else I was going to say is that the way that Mukas and Rel have helped me. If you've got a good video out there and you want somebody to give it a bit of a like, and it comes up on my like feed as well. I don't know how to get Rel and Mukas's 2 strips that are vertical, but I've got one that goes across horizontal and it shows all my like videos, and I'm happy if they're good videos to like somebody else's video to give them a bit of visibility. I'm not sure how many people go to my page, but maybe, you know, 100 maybe extra views that you might not have got, and you know, that does actually matter to people. It makes you feel a bit better about yourself, and I am very happy to help people out like that, like Mukas and Rel and OrbitalStrikeGaming did for me. Also, yeah, thinking about it, also Energy One, I think the Kool-Aid line, and maybe a few others, also commented on my Batch Rank 100 video, and you know, that's also a bit of visibility there, so thanks guys. And yeah, everyone, thanks for being awesome. I'll see you in the next video. I don't know if I'll do a vlog again or if I'll show my face, but I'll be in video games for you. So see you guys, keep being awesome.